Hello and welcome to the FDA and 510Ks, The Reckoning, Part 6. My name is David Lawrence. I'm an Illinois qualified lawyer living and working here in Thailand since 2010 with my relevant experience for this series being a few different things, including working with the United States Environmental Protection Agency's National Enforcement Investigations Center, which was their criminal investigations laboratory in my case, and also being the in-house counsel for the parent company of Sri Trang Gloves, Thailand, public company limited, Thailand's largest medical glove provider, which led me to deal with a lot of FDA matters. In the past video, I mentioned a few different presidents and said I wasn't very political, but today I'm taking a stand by wearing a Chicago Blackhawks jersey, and I'm going to put it out there that they're the best team and always have been in the NHL. I know that might divide some people. For my Thai viewers who may see me wearing this red shirt and view that as a political statement, I assure you that it is not. However, we just recently commemorated the assassination of General Sedang, who was apparently allied with the Red Shirts, which was on May 17th, 2010, the year I got here. Interestingly, my wife, who I met in law school, went to law school in Washington, D.C. with Sedang's daughter, who became a family friend. And when Sedang came to D.C. For the graduation, I gave him a tour around some of the sites in Washington, D.C., which was quite an interesting time. Little did I know how sad his end would be. Regardless of what you think about people's politics, it's always sad to lose someone who was kind to you and good. So a little bit of commemoration of General Sedang. Okay, so what we've talked about here so far is that the FDA is pissed off, and if they want to get you and you've imported a bad device, they will, and they can, and there's no way for you to escape. Believe it or not, I may not have convinced you, and if you have any questions, you can. I'm happy to clarify. But now, what is the FDA going to do? How are they going to proceed with the reckoning? What is the reckoning going to look like? Okay, who are they going to target, I guess, is the first question. Manufacturers abroad, I think they will target them, but the targeting will be closer scrutiny of whatever they ship in and factory audits and that kind of thing, and maybe fines and penalties. You see people getting dinged all the time, 50 million, 500 million. The big boys will be able to handle it. The small suppliers will probably just fade away, right, because they won't be able to handle, if they're legitimate, the market will sort of start to dry up. Then I think the next target is going to be these OTG importers, right? All these on-the-ground things, nobody knows the provenance of that kind of stuff. These guys might get dinged pretty heavy by the FDA, especially if they're touting 510Ks and whatnot to get them in. But what's going to happen to the guys just trying to, look, I fell into PPE too, right? I had a falling out with my partner at the law firm I was at in 2020, early, before we knew of what COVID was, real early, January. Then I had a visa problem because they wouldn't support my visa. And I went back to the US with no job, got stuck there for 3 months away from my family, came back to Thailand. And while I was in quarantine, I got a call from a guy who said, hey, we got a PPE deal going on. Can you help? And that's how I fell into the industry. And I've been able to support my family during this time, which has been fantastic. But, we've all fallen in, and I don't fault anyone for trying to survive and make a buck. So my point is not to come down on people. I actually want to help you to find a way. So what is the FDA going to do with the little guys, right? And that's the question. And it's a question that remains open because what the FDA is, if nothing else, it's not autonomous, right? It's subject to Congress, subject to policies, and hopefully we can take some time to figure out what Congress can do to maybe protect the little guys.